The Setout Laptop Backpack is quite similar to the Tortuga Setout Divide, with a couple of key differences catered towards carrying around tech gear and other daily carry items while you're on the road. I'm Tom, the founder of Pack Hacker, and we love helping people optimize their travel experience with guides and reviews just like this one. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Let's jump right into the Tortuga Setout Laptop Backpack. The main fabric on this pack is 900D heathered polyester, and it covers the entirety of the exterior of the pack. The heathered gray material is beneficial because it's harder for dirt and little abrasions to show up. We've had great luck with the original Tortuga Setout as well as the Tortuga Setout Divide in our testing of over about a total of 4 months with both of those bags. Previously, we tested the home base line and we did not have quite as much luck with it. It's made of a kind of sailcloth material. It was a little too crinkly and it got abrasions on it quite easily. So we're a little bit more excited about the overall design, aesthetic, and material choice that we've seen with the Setout line across the board. They're finding some pretty good product market fit, and in 2019, Tortuga plans to play the hits and bring us more of the Setout series in the different colorways and different design options. We think the heathered gray colorway looks pretty sharp, and the smaller form factor of the Tortuga Setout Laptop Backpack, especially when compared to the 45-liter Tortuga Setout, everything just looks a little bit cleaner and tighter. It doesn't look so much like a turtle shell on your back like the brand would imply. As far as branding goes, you can find the little Tortuga shell across the entirety of the pack, on the zipper pulls, on the areas where there's a logo, even on the Velcro and these shoulder straps. There are a lot of logos on this thing, however, they are tastefully done. Of course, we love getting your thoughts as well, so we polled our Instagram audience over at Pack Hacker, and here are the results on whether or not people like the look of this bag. To wrap up the materials, these zippers are pretty strong. They are number 8 racket coil YKK zippers, and most of them are lockable. Plus, Duraflex has been chosen for the plastic hardware across the entirety of the pack, another great and durable choice. Lastly, Tortuga uses injection molded foam on their harness system to make it super comfortable while you carry, as well as on the back frame sheet to give you some added ventilation, which we're going to get into in the next section. For the external components, let's kick it off with the best place to start, the harness system. Overall, the harness system is very similar to what we've seen with a lot of other Tortuga Setout products in the line. The main difference with the laptop backpack compared to other larger bags is there's no place to attach a hip belt, which is totally fine for a pack of this size. The overall in the harness system is that it's just solid, it's comfortable, and it's well designed. It should be now that Tortuga has had a couple of different iterations in their product to figure out what works across the board. The shoulder straps use an injection molded foam, and it's a little bit thicker towards the top of the straps, and then it thins out as you go down a little bit further. This keeps the straps comfortable, plus arguably less material is used where it's not needed for additional padding. There's also additional mesh and holes in the straps for added breathability and comfort. On those straps, we also have a properly anchored sternum strap, and that is removable if you don't want to use it. However, it is there if you want the option. We found that a sternum strap works pretty well, especially if your bag is packed with heavy tech gear or things that you're going to be taking around with you during the day, and you're going to have this bag on for quite a long time. So a sternum strap is good in those cases. If you're just throwing this thing on and hiking to the coffee shop, you may not necessarily need it. And of course, these shoulder straps are more adjustable with the Duraflex hardware, as well as there being elastic keepers on those straps to hold the straps in place a little bit better. The back panel offers some really great breathability due to its design. So it has high density foam, and on top of that, some breathable mesh. And overall, this is one of the backpacks with the most airflow in its class. Towards the top, we have a sewn loop for hanging, and we like that it's sewn because it offers a little bit of a flatter area to hang the bag up on, plus it's more robust. To wrap up the harness system, everything here is hidable if you unclip it and then stuff it into the strap hider area. This is a nice little feature when you don't want straps flying around everywhere. Plus, this is the same compartment that's used for the luggage pass-through. The luggage pass-through is an ample size and you can fit most handles through it. However, just note that the straps might be in there and you might be kind of fishing it through there. So it's not its own dedicated area. You still do have to weave it around those straps that may be in the way. One thing that you want to make sure of is when you put these straps back on, when you clip them back in, make sure that clip opening is facing the outside of the bag. In our testing with the larger Setout, we found that these clips could come out without warning as you were picking the bag up if the clips were on the other side. To wrap this up, there are 2 grab handles on this pack, one on the top and one on the side, and these are pretty padded, definitely comfortable to use. Arguably, they don't need to be this thick and padded and do add a tiny bit of extra bulk. However, they are comfortable to grab, even though a pack of this size doesn't necessarily require that much padding. Opposite the side of the handle, there is a really great water bottle compartment that lays flat when not in use. And when you do want to employ it and use it, you just unzip and you have some nice stretchy mesh. It's not going to fit your massive Nalgene bottle inside of it, but it is going to be large enough for those bigger water bottles. Moving on to the inside of the pack, starting with the quick grab pocket on the front. We love that Tortuga has included this here. It's perfect for quickly stashing things away like your phone or snacks, just really anything that you want to have quick access to and you can stow away quickly. Opening up the front horseshoe panel, we are greeted with a great organizational area. There's only one problem here. It is too low for the horseshoe opening. So we wish that the horseshoe opening was a little bit deeper or the organization panel was a little bit higher up so you could have better access to it. You can even see in Tortuga's promo video that is a little bit out of the way and hard to see. And the person packing the bag seems to be having trouble getting the pen in as well. Also, the photos on the Tortuga site show somewhat extreme angles just to show what's going on inside of here. We definitely think there could be a little bit more room for you to organize this area a little bit more effectively. We're curious as to why Tortuga has not updated this yet. We've seen this on a lot of their previous packs as well, where this front divider pocket is just a little bit hard to access the organizational features that they've designed in here. Speaking of those features, they are really great and really well thought out. It is just enough organization for the traveler, and it's not too much, and it does lay flat. So if you don't want to use any of it, that is completely fine. Starting at the bottom, we have a stretchy black pocket for a battery bank or small hard drive. Then we have 4 credit card width pockets of varying heights stacked on top of one another. Then there's one deeper liner pocket next to 3 pen, pencil, and stylus pockets. Above that is a larger, slightly padded partition for flatter items, such as a notebook or any other documents that you want to carry around with you. Then there's another zippered quick grab pocket that we've seen that's similar to the exterior quick grab pocket in dimensions. Plus there's a metal clip, the same one that's used to attach these straps to the bag on the harness system that can be used for flashlight, keys, or any other keychain-like items. This organization system is awesome. We just wish it was a little bit more accessible. Kicking it off with the somewhat padded laptop sleeve, this is good for holding laptops of 15 inches. Our MacBook Pro 15-inch fits in there really well. Plus there's a false bottom in the laptop compartment as well, which means that when you put your laptop inside of the compartment, it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of the bag, so it's protected from unexpected drops or from you setting it down a little bit too hard. In front of that, there is a separate partition for a tablet or an e-reader, and then both of those compartments are closable via a Velcro strap. And of course, there is a little Tortuga logo on the Velcro strap. Opposite of that, there is a mesh pocket, which is great for holding cables, chargers, and other bits of tech gear that are otherwise hard to manage. You can kind of just shove everything in there and have it nicely ready to go when you pull out your laptop. This is a new pocket for the Setout series, and we haven't seen this featured on either the Setout or the Setout Divide, and it's a welcomed update to a laptop-specific and more work-specific backpack. Typically, we like to use separate pouches for all our dongles and cables, so we'd probably just load one of those up, put that in this pocket for easy access, but the mesh compartment is also just great for storing wires in there as well if you don't want to have any additional pouches. Now moving on to the main event, the main clamshell opening that pretty much opens up to a giant bucket. Inside there's a bunch of polyester ripstop nylon, which is great. Once you start getting a small rip, those little grid lines prevent it from getting larger. The large compartment design is great for travel, especially if you're going to be using packing cubes. This large, wide open clamshell style is a bit different to see on a bag that boasts laptop and work functionality. Other bags we've seen in this category open up in a horseshoe fashion, and the zipper is down the middle versus positioned towards the top flap. There's also one other negative to this. It's a little bit hard to tell which zipper is which on first glance when comparing the front horseshoe panel to the main clamshell opening of the bag. Those zippers are very close to one another. This is a very small nitpick, but that is why our channel exists, to look into all the details and bring them up to you, the viewer, so that you can make an informed decision on what you want to grab. Overall, this is a travel bag though, and we understand why Tortuga maybe went with this larger opening. The top flap features 2 equally divided mesh pockets that have a little bit of dimension. Normally, you'd recommend packing underwear and socks in here to keep them separate from the rest of your clothing. Any flatter item will do here though, and they are useful pockets to have that just kind of blend into the background if you don't want to use them. At the time of this review, we've been testing the Tortuga Setout Laptop Backpack for about 2 weeks. We've tested the original Tortuga Setout for 3 months and the Setout Divide for a total of 1 month. Since the materials are so similar between all these bags, it'll likely follow a similar trajectory in the durability and usage testing that we've done so far. Really, there hasn't been any durability issues yet, except for some small aesthetic blemishes on the 900D polyester. If you compare that to the sailcloth fabric of the Tortuga home base, this is definitely a massive step up, and Tortuga is really finding their stride. One thing to mention though is that if you plan on picking this backpack up, we would strongly suggest that you consider the Tortuga Setout Divide as well. The Divide has everything the laptop backpack has and more, besides that mesh pocket that's in the back near where the laptop goes. Be sure to go check out our full review of the Setout Divide if you're curious about learning more. Now, to wrap this thing up with some pros and cons, starting with the pros, the harness system is solid and breathable. The simple and thoughtful design that's been iterated on based on Tortuga's previous versions works really well in most areas. The water bottle pocket lays flat when not in use and is expandable for larger bottles when you want to use it. On to some of the cons. That organizer panel is great, but it's not visible enough to use easily. Either of the shoulder straps can fall off unpredictably on occasion if you put the clips on backwards when you're kind of picking up the pack and setting it down. The large clamshell style isn't ideal for a laptop backpack, but we understand why they made those design decisions to make it a little bit more travel friendly. The Setout Laptop Backpack is a great addition to the Setout line. Although we feel strongly about grabbing the Setout Divide compared to this laptop backpack, it is a solid pack if you want something a little bit smaller and you don't need the versatility. Although the front organization panel needs some work on the positioning and the strap attachment isn't ideal, this is a solid pack that fits its use case quite well. Thanks for checking out this video. We'll see you in the next one.